Folks, it's so easy to find bad advice. I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending July the 12th, 2023. It's only been about a week since the last interest rate hike, and already you're hearing a bunch of realtors saying to their clients or to anyone that would listen, now's the perfect time to buy. Interest rates are high, but they're going to come down after this. And because of that, prices right now are at the lowest we're going to see, because as interest rates come down, prices are going to go up. And all this is going to happen in the near future. So now's the best time to buy. This is what a bunch of realtors are saying. You could find the narrative out there. Just, go online, look at social media. It's there. These are the same realtors that told people when we were at peak pricing that this is the time to buy, because prices are just going to continue to climb forever and interest rates are so low, it's like free money. So what difference does it make what the purchase price is? Interest rates are so low, you might as well buy. Look, lots of people get stuck because they take the wrong advice. We research a lot of properties in dealing with our clients, and I can't remember the last time I've seen as many properties as I do now that are for sale, which were purchased within the last 6 months to 18 months. These are recent sales. Normally, when I'm looking at properties and I can see the history, I'm seeing the seller has owned this property for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. But there's so many that have been recent purchases. This reminds me of a conversation I recently had with a young couple. They were new to Canada a little over 2 years ago. They came with some money, but they, for 2 years, just saved every single penny they had, and they were in a position to buy. And through family and friends, they aligned themselves with their realtor, and the realtor advised them, hey, don't buy one house. I can show you how you can buy 3 properties. And that's what they did. How their income supported that, I have no idea. However, they ended up buying 3 properties. And today we're speaking because they can't afford to maintain these properties. And at least 2 of them need to be sold. And they're lucky that just to break even on those 2. So bad advice is everywhere. I don't know if for you buying now or selling now makes sense. We have sold properties, multi-million-dollar properties, when nothing was selling, but it made sense to that seller in their set of circumstances that they sell their property. And sales could be up, sales could be down. Prices could be up, prices could be down. Your set of circumstances, your family circumstances, your personal financial situation, all that is what's going to determine whether buying now makes sense or selling now makes sense. Predicting the future is a fool's game. Nobody can accurately predict the future. So that's my advice today. What makes sense for you is more important than whatever's happening in the universe right now. Who you hire matters. If you think this video can help somebody please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about here, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description is a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. If you're looking for a new, luxurious, multi-family home in North Etobicoke, check out the video at the end of this video. Toronto market, it's like getting hit double. July, August, it's our summer months. The market is normally, traditionally, seasonally sluggish. Prices tend to soften. These are average sold prices, tend to soften. Sales tend to come down. There's less activity overall. That's one pow to the market over July and August. But now we just got hit with an interest rate hike. That's like, bam, another one. And this is all playing on public sentiment, public attitude. Now, I know a lot of where the market is headed, a lot of it really boils down to what's the buyer or what's the seller thinking? How do they feel? What's their confidence level? Public sentiment has a lot to do with where the market is headed. But here, we're also looking at the numbers, and we got to try to decipher the two and try to kind of see what makes sense, and we try to find trends, and I'm going to point out some trends now. For example, for week ending July the 12th, everything in a lot of cases seemed to be better from the previous week. But we know the previous week was the long weekend week, and when we look at the trend, we see prices trending down, we see months of inventory trending up, and the backdrop is higher interest rates and July and August sluggish, typically summer months. Let's get into the numbers here. Here's a quick summary. Detached, semis in towns, condos. We're going to start off and take a deep dive into the detached market. This is just for the city of Toronto, broken down by week for a whole year. So the previous week, ending July 5th, that was the long weekend. Well, we're up from there. For week ending July 12th, sales jumped up to 134 sales. The amount of property selling at $2 million or more is also up from the previous week. We sold 31 detached properties at $2 million or more. But sales, if we look, they're still trending down. Even though they're up from last week, still trending down. Property selling at $2 million or more, even though they're up from the previous week, are overall trending down. Average sold price. We were here just about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. We're in the high 1.8s to low 1.9s. Now we're sitting in the mid 1.6, 1,656 is the average sold price for week ending July the 12th. 1,656 is 4% higher than where we were this time last year. But look at the way prices have been trending. Median price of 1,350,000 is no change from where we were this time last year. But overall, median and average price has been trending down. It's very clear that it's been trending down. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Sales, well, orange is this year's sales, blue is a year ago for the same week. We can see we are outpacing right now. We weren't at the beginning of the year, but right now we're outpacing what we were selling last year at this time. And 61% of these properties that sold, of 134 that sold at list price or more. So it's somewhat competitive out there still. Listings, 335 were listed. Now, active listings for this 1 week did come down slightly. However, the overall trend is that active listings are increasing. There are more and more choices out there. And months of inventory is down from the previous week. So that would tell you, wow, the market got a little bit tighter. However, the previous week was a long weekend. I keep saying that, and I'm not putting all my eggs into one basket here saying, oh, this is what happened for the long weekend. We know it. Historically, almost every long weekend or public holiday, the numbers get skewed a little bit one way or the other. So we kind of take it and don't put too much emphasis on that number. But if we look at the overall trend, months of inventory, even though it's down from last week, has been trending up, and prices again have been trending down. So that's all of the city of Toronto, not the suburbs. There's no Durham in here. There's no Peel region here, just the city of Toronto for detached properties. Let's look at Toronto. Still, the city of Toronto broken down into 9 regions. So we said months of inventory for all Toronto was 2.3. Well, depending on where you're selling or where you're buying, you're going to have a different experience, especially when it comes to months of inventory. Scarborough sitting at 1.6, very competitive in Scarborough. East York is 1.9. We've got Weston Yorkdale 1.8, 1.5 in Rexdale Downsview area. And then you got other neighborhoods like Willowdale, Bayview area. 6.3 is the months of inventory. 3 for York Mills and Rosedale, sitting in a balanced market here, a seller's market in some of these other areas over here. So you are going to have different experiences depending on which part of Toronto you're working in or, looking to buy or sell in. Here's semis. 49 semi-detaches were sold. 13 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price jumped up a bit to $1,325,000. It's actually a big jump from the previous week. Actually, let me go back. But the previous week took a big dive from where we were before. So 1,325, if we ignore the previous long weekend week, kind of is in line with the way prices were trending down previous to the long weekend. The average sold price currently of 1,325 for semis is 3% higher than where we were a year ago. Median price is 8% higher than where we were a year ago, and prices, median and average, seem to be trending down. 1.2 is the months of inventory, and that continues with our trend of months of inventory increasing. As months of inventory goes up, prices tend to trend down. 65% of the semis sold at list price or more. Here's townhouses. Only 16 townhouses were sold, which is up from the previous week of only 10. One of those was at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price way down to $1,069,000. $1,069,000 is 4% lower than where we were a year ago. Median price is 5% higher. Prices for townhouses have been trending down over the last couple months. Months of inventory has been trending up. 1.9 is the months of inventory, and 69% of the towns that sold. Now remember, only 10 were sold. 16 were sold. 69% sold at list price or more. Here's condos. Folks, we're following this same pattern here. Numbers seem up from the previous week or better than the previous week, but overall following a certain trend. So sales are up from the previous week. 229 condos were sold, but trending down still overall. 29 of those condos sold at $1 million or more, which is up from the previous week, but overall trending down. Average sold price, we were in the low 800s, now we're sitting in the mid 700s. 764 is the average sold price of condos for week ending July the 12th. 764 is 1% lower than where we were a year ago. The median price is also 1% lower. Now, the detached market, we can see, it's very predominant, the direction down that we're headed right now. Condos, we're also trending down, but not so aggressively. It's very gradual, the price trend for condos. Of the 229 that sold, and sales again are trending down, a third, 33% sold at list price or more, and that's way down. Active listings trending up. 815 were listed, which is one of the better weeks or one of the higher weeks that we've had for listings. And months of inventory sitting at 3.2, which is trending up. Here's a summary of months of inventory. As far as the balanced market goes, condos are definitely in a balanced market. Detached are approaching a balanced market. And this kind of seems to be the trend. Although we're up from last week, prices are trending down. Months of inventory is trending up. Thanks for watching. Welcome to 4027 Bloor Street West in Etobicoke. Before I show you the inside of this home, let me tell you what makes it so unique. It has in all 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each room has its own individual climate control. These are all luxury features you would expect from a custom-built home. But what really stands out in this home is that it was designed from the very beginning for two families to live separate and independent of each other, both above grade. Let me start by showing you the principal residence. So this is the principal residence. Including the finished basement, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, about 3,000 square feet. So here's the finished basement. It has 10-foot ceilings, an entertainment area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a private walk-up to the backyard. So this is the private, self-contained, luxurious secondary suite with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look.